This is without doubt the best tutorial on how to build a PC step by step for beginners, and I will explain why at the end of the video.
One PC to rule them all. We could start tomorrow, 1st of January 2019. So I'm inviting you to this first worldwide phenomenon where I give you collective authority in deciding every component of my next PC build. Did I mention that this PC needs to be compatible with Windows, Linux and Mac? Oh yeah, we're building a Hackintosh. So I'm thinking we're going to conduct regular polls after we discuss which parts may be more suitable. We're keeping it as one PC to rule them all series. As your first PC build, do not build in a micro ATX case if you can afford the space. If you can't, if you need a small case, fine, but don't. Even if you're going to go with a micro ATX motherboard or even an ITX motherboard, I'm going to tell you why I like to use a toothbrush instead of all the other methods. Now, for anyone who wants to learn how to build computers or planning to build more computers, I would definitely advise to do a manual old-fashioned cleaning rather than going for compressed can air options or data vac, etc. And that is to get yourself familiar with the inner workings of a computer in terms of cable and cable management, the parts. Also, it will help you to develop your troubleshooting skills, because once you take the computer apart, you have to put it back, you need to know exactly what you're doing, and it's quite therapeutic, to be honest with you, and you can get really deep to clean every corner of your PC. Okay, it will take you some time, but you're not going to do this every day. I would assume you might do this maybe twice a year, maybe once every 3 months if you are a very dusty place. So it does help for you to get familiar with your PC, and it's a good learning experience. So I would definitely advise to do this. You need these 40 parts to build a PC, and some of these PC building parts may not be as obvious as you think. So stick around, let's check it out. 5 is the magic number for how many parts you need to test whether your computer will work successfully with a post outside of your case. And I maintain you don't even need a monitor. Now, yesterday I said you need 40 parts to completely test, use and build a computer. But today I'm telling you that you only need 5, and if you're an experienced builder, you may know what these 5 parts are. For the rest of you, take a look at what we've got in front of us displayed and have a guess, and if you want to write them down in the comments below, and then later come check if you're right or wrong.
This is without doubt the best tutorial on how to build a PC step by step for beginners, and I will explain why at the end of the video.
Welcome to part 13 of our One PC to Rule Them All challenge series, and as you can see, I have had a successful post of the new computer which we assembled outside of the case. So I'm going to show you all about it today. You guys voted for a rationale for each PC part, okay, which was 43%. In this part 15, I'm going to show you how to easily create a Windows 10 bootable USB flash drive using 2 methods. Method 1 will use the media creation tool from Microsoft themselves, and method 2 will require a third-party media creation tool like Rufus. In this part 16, I'm going to teach you how to create a bootable Linux USB drive from Windows 10. Linux is better than Windows, hands down, objectively, and that's exactly what we're going to prove in today's video. And if I'm wrong, I'm willing to give you, while you're going to have to wait and see later on in the video what I'm prepared to offer if I'm wrong, but you have to prove it. We are onto the desktop. 30 seconds. It's a big deal because we haven't got a hard drive on there. With this little USB, in there, you have yourself an almost fully functional computer which you can take with you, and you can do whatever you need to do for daily tasks. You cannot do this with Windows. One is only an installation drive, which is going to be the Windows. The other one is an installation drive plus a live USB drive. It means it's a fully functional operating system that you can test drive before you even install. Let's go to a website which you may have heard of. I'll put a link below. It's called YouTube. It's not bad. There's a few things on there every now and then. It's not stuttering, it's not lagging, it's just playing, and it's a 1080p video. Can you do this with a Windows installation drive? You cannot. Look at that! We got GIMP! GIMP is the equivalent of Adobe Photoshop. My point is, out of the box, you didn't have even to install anything. Within 30-ish seconds, you've booted up and you can start using and connect straight to the internet. And that's what matters to most people these days. Are you convinced yet or not that Linux is superior, at least for now? But there's a but. There's a big but. Big but. One says to turn off, the other one says you're in trouble. Troubleshoot Windows. Try to put Windows on a 10-year-old desktop or laptop and see what you get as performance. If it installs at all, it will be slow as heck. For a free, no license required product, Linux is superior to Windows because it's free. End of story. Linux has some viruses, but Windows have viruses. I will create a video just for you, whatever you want me to do. We are going to assemble this PC into the case, which is behind there. Finally, first thing you're going to have to check, are your standoffs there and are they in the right slots? Now, one little issue about this M.2 drive, the manual says we're going to lose SATA 5 and 6. You can skip on the IO shield if you haven't got one and put that money in a different port where it will actually matter, okay? Front panel connectors can be a nightmare for a lot of people. You're quite worried about it, you get confused and you think you can do something wrong. It's not, it's very easy, and in today's tutorial I'm going to teach you how to connect the front panel connectors to the motherboard very easily. Okay, so we start with the top left, power LED, positive and negative, and Bob's your uncle. The top right was our power switch. Easy peasy. Bottom left is going to be the HDD LED, and last but not least the reset switch. This is a 2-pin cable. Let's put the speaker cable just to be thorough. Why not? Okay, here's a treat for you. We have another board for comparison. This is an older board, and the reset switch, last but not least, goes here. Already you should be giving me a like and a subscribe in it. Let's check it out. Today I'm going to show you how to install Windows 10 from USB on a new computer or even an existing computer with an existing drive which may have a different operating system on there, including Windows, but I'm going to show you how to completely format that to restart from scratch. And this tutorial will work on a desktop computer or even a laptop, and I'm going to make this so simple for you that you're going to want to subscribe twice. Let's check it out. Welcome to this Linux Mint installation guide for beginners step by step, and today we're installing Linux Mint 19.2 Cinnamon, codename Tina 64-bit version. This should be very straightforward from this point on. Just click on install now, put your username and the computer's name if you want. Okay, that was really fast. It took just about 3 minutes give or take. We are hopefully logging into the first initial screen. You may have noticed that I did not do a dual boot system. When I have a choice not to install 2 systems on a single drive, I prefer to keep them separate. My Windows 10 is at the front. I'm just going to reconnect that. This time I'm going to press F11 because if I wanted to boot into Windows, I'm going to select the Windows Boot Manager. This is how I switch between the 2 operating systems. There you go, we booted into Windows. So now I've got 2 operating systems. The first thing most people would do will be to go and apply the updates. I'm going to do something else today. I've actually installed a second drive as my main storage drive. So we're going to format this for the Linux file partition system, which is ext4. Click on bottom left menu icon and type in disk to open the disk utility or disk manager. Windows, Linux and Mac on a single computer, whereby I can boot into Microsoft, Ubuntu, which is a Linux Mint, and Mac OS on a single one. So that's Windows. Ta-da! Second one, we've got Linux, Mac OS version. And voila, here we go. That's the job done. So why is this without a doubt the best tutorial on how to build a PC step by step for beginners? It's not because of this video alone, and I'm not referring to the production value. It's because of the whole series. Firstly, it's the best step-by-step guide on PC building because I have already created 12 previous videos on YouTube in this One PC to Rule Them All challenge series, where I cover everything you need to know before even getting to this point of assembling all the PC parts together. Secondly, it's also the best tutorial on PC building because of the subsequent video tutorials which are still meant to come, as I give you front seat on this exciting journey with all the support that I can give you as a beginner to confidently build your own PC. How many tech channels do you know that have dedicated an entire structured continuous series on a single topic and not only offer you an end user experience on one platform but 3 platforms: Windows, Linux and Mac OS, and all the troubleshoot help and support you can get. Talking about troubleshoot, there is already an existing complete 10 parts Troubleshoot a Computer series up until Windows boot up. Go check it out. And thirdly, it's unique and special because of you, my dear name tags. You make this series so freaking awesome. I no longer feel alone and frustrated. I feel I have your support as much as you have mine for tech tutorials. Thanks to your contribution in the poll, in the comments, and I really mean it, for just taking time out to watch my videos. Thank you so much.